Hello everyone, my name is Eric, and you're watching the Uncanny Stream. And tonight we are back with some more Skyrim, following the journey of Jaromir, the ultimate Dragonborn. And my goal for this playthrough will be to learn every shout in the game. And I will be completing the Dawnguard DLC, which, as you can probably tell, I am in the middle of. And I will also be doing the Dragonborn DLC, and of course the main story quest. And welcome to the new viewers just joining in. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting the stream. So, today we are continuing with the Touching the Sky quest as we search for the legendary Ariel's bow. So I'm going to fast travel over here. And as you can see, my current companion is Serana. And even though she is my favorite, I think once I finish the Dawnguard DLC, I will be using a different follower. Just for the sake of variety, since I always seem to use Serana. There she is. Alright. It is a gorgeous day in Skyrim. Looks like perfect weather. Or at least what I would consider to be perfect weather. I prefer it when it's a little warmer. I know some people like it when it's kind of cool, but
you don't have a chance. Kill the beast. Done and done.
We are in the land of the Forsworn at the moment. So they tend to hang out in the Reach near Markarth. And I am going to oh, I was like, what the heck? Serana likes to freak me out by reviving dead stuff. But in previous streams, or previous parts, it said I was going to try to avoid using restoration, which again is just for the sake of variety, since I seem to continually find myself using restoration. But I can't help it, it's just too useful. And so I think I am going to start using just a bit of restoration. I'm not really planning on putting any perks into the tree or anything like that. It's just
Who's there? I knew I heard something.
there's no sense wasting potions outside of combat. So it is really dark in here. Oh, I remember this.
Something's not right here. Be careful. I think we may be in for some trouble.
Alright, so actually what you need to do here is take a little bit of a leap of it. Whoa! Maybe not so much of a leap as a fall. I forgot that the bridge broke. I thought you had to just jump off, but now you'll get this kind of nightmarish sight of these spiders cascading over the waterfall here. Alright.
Who's there? I knew I heard something. Done and done.
Very cinematic though. The Serana's spells lighting up the dark. And we're just gonna keep on going.
These people were... Why would anyone want to set up camp here?
Let's find out. I guess I can read this note, which says, "Sister, I know that you'll come find me, but it will be too late. If you find this letter, get out of this forsaken cave as soon as possible. We were fools to think we could live so close to such creatures and live peacefully. I should have headed back to camp with you after we placed the torches down here. I thought these trolls would be different, that they would somehow understand that we didn't want to hurt them. I am now cornered, and it's only a matter of time before one of the trolls decides to finish me off. I hope it is a quick death. Farewell, my dear sister." Oops, that isn't what I meant to take. Just gonna keep that.
I wonder what happened to them.
Seems that they were attacked by trolls. Judging from that note, I think that's right. No, I came from that way. Just running heedlessly in the dark. I only saw that tripwire at the last second. And when the rocks didn't fall on me or in front of me, I figured that they were rolling down the hill behind me. Because normally I wouldn't want to sprint forward after setting off a trap, since usually it's set up so that you cross the tripwire and then kind of keep going into the trap. Wow, there's that dual savagery. Doing amazing things for me. Ingot doesn't do me any good. Okay. So last time I got the dual savagery perk for one-handed, which requires a skill level of 70 and increases my dual-wielding power attack damage by 50%.
I am Knight Paladin Gelibor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel.
This cave is a temple to Auriel?
Auriel, Auriel, Alkosh, Akatosh, so many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves.
Snow elves? You're a Falmer?
I prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers.
No kidding.
Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed.
I imagine you know why we're here.
Of course. You're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance.
What type of assistance do you need?
I need you to kill Archcurate Vertha, my brother.
Kill your brother? Why?
The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen.
What exactly did the Betrayed do?
They swept into the Chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause.
Didn't you fight back?
The Chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum where I believe they corrupted Vertha.
You don't even know if he's alive.
He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting.
Have you tried getting into the inner sanctum?
Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a knight paladin of Auriel, and an assault on the Betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death.
Way shrine?
Yes, let me show you.
Don't let me keep you, dude.
This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the Chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the Chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? Makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temples so we can kill your brother and claim Auriel's bow.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment.
How many more way shrines are there?
There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the Chantry.
These caves must be massive.
Caves? Oh no. The Chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the initiate's ewer.
So I need to fill this at each way shrine?
Once you've located a way shrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened.
I'll be off then.
This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them. Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
Alright, entering the portal.
Wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be. Kind of soothing, actually. I feel a little warmer now. Where'd you come from?
Always gotta watch out for
Where'd you
these
come from?
holes in the wall, these tunnels. This is where, whoa. Oh, that's right. Need that blood for another quest. The, discerning the Dragonborn.
Done and done.
Oops.
Who's there? I knew
I've
I
never
heard something.
seen... What? Oh, come on. Not this. Did I even hit?
Still remember how to fight.
I've encountered this before. But did I even do anything? Did I even hit her? What happens is, there's, a bug, obviously,
That wasn't as unpleasant
related
as
to
I thought it would be.
Serana,
Kind of soothing, actually.
where if
Feel a little
you
calmer now.
deal, I believe, this is what it is at least, if you deal damage to a creature that she's resurrected, she will become hostile.
That'll teach you.
But I didn't think that I did any damage to something that she had resurrected.
Who's there? That'll teach you. Where'd you come from? That'll teach you. Who's there? I knew I heard something.
Yeah, I should have grabbed that cure poison potion. Oh, there's a skill increase.
Get it now while we can.
Okay.
Where'd you come from?
In the left way. Set off that trap.
That'll teach you.
Oh, that's right. There we go. And, so the blood harvesting quest
Where'd you
is
come
called Discerning the Transmundane, and that is one that you do for Septimus Cygnus near the College of Winterhold. Once you've progressed to a certain point in the story, the main story. And the reward for that quest is very useful. And that being the Ogma Infinium, which is basically sort of a super skill book. So I'm trying to figure out where to go here. Oh, here we go. So basically what the Ogma Infinium does is give you five skill levels in all skills within one of the three categories, either warrior, mage, or thief skills. It'll give you 5 levels in each one. And I know this is a trap.
Get back here!
Not sure where this other enemy is. Not sure where those two came from.
Where'd you come from?
Oh, here we go. Oops. I better quick save again. Alright. This can be a confusing area to get through.
Where'd you come from?
And certain dungeons in the game are just work than others. Even though I have gone through many of them several times, I still get lost. Just topping off my health once again.
Who's there?
I think there's another...
I knew I heard something.
This chest first. Wow. Some good stuff in there. Yeah, this enemy is on the other side of this bridge. It seems forward. was a dead end. Oh, you just had to. Oh, so I do have to go this way.
Show yourself.
There's another trap there. Alright, still stuck.
Be careful here. Whatever's on the other side of this, Alma wanted to keep it there.
There she is.
Done and done.
That's an enemy you won't see anywhere else in the game. The Veil Saber Cat. That and a couple of other things are only found in this DLC.
Never saw anything
In
like
this
this
area.
back on the island.
Actually, the Dawnguard DLC added a couple of unique enemies. Enemies, non-hostile. Deer-like creatures. I think I'm going the wrong way. Our skeleton is still following us. Still not right. Gotta go this way. And I do really like the Dawnguard DLC. That and the Dragonborn DLC were both very good, in my opinion. And I actually hadn't played Dragonborn until I got the special edition here. But I had gotten Dawnguard when that first came out.
I think that's another way shrine up there. Here we go.
Welcome, Initiate. This is the Way Shrine of Illumination. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Yes.
Then behold Ariel's gift, my child. May it light your path as you seek tranquility within the inner sanctum.
And I shouldn't neglect to mention the other DLC that was released in between the other two. Hearthfire. It was a much smaller DLC, at least in terms of content. And that was more about home building and adopting children and stuff. It's kind of an odd choice for a game like Skyrim, I would say. Because normally what people are looking for is stuff like this, these big new story-driven expansions. Fosterol over there.
It's like a whole other
And
world.
this is the Forgotten Vale.
Where'd you come from?
Getting attacked by another saber cat already. And, apparently that the little red indicator on the compass that shows enemies, for the longest time I really thought it was a little skull. Apparently it's just a circle with some shading. But I am playing on a much better TV now than I ever played before. Because I did move out of my family's home recently. As I've mentioned in the last stream, I am living on my own now. I am originally from Wisconsin, but I'm now living in Tennessee. So, it's been a lot of changes for me in 2017.
Done and done.
That is for sure.
More spiders? I like the ones back home better.
And giant spider alert here.
Where'd you come from?
Scare the crap out of you. You didn't expect it. And I absolutely hate spiders.
It almost doesn't even look real, you know?
You wouldn't catch me anywhere near these guys. Skeletons and Draugr and bandits and stuff, that's fine, but these giant spiders and the Karuses, no thanks. Here's the next way shrine. And there are a couple of little side quests that you can do here in the Forgotten Vale, but I don't think I'll be doing them.
You've reached the Way Shrine of Learning, Initiate. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Yes.
Ariel bless you, child, for you are a step closer to the inner sanctum and everlasting wisdom.
And these way shrines also act sort of as checkpoints or fast travel points.
May Ariel's warmth imbue your body with strength.
Now I believe you can kind of see these stone arches can kind of be a guide if you're not sure where to go. pretty sure I want to go this way. Oh yeah, it's up here, I'm pretty sure. There's a nice haunting vocal soundtrack here as well. Oh. Never mind. But it seems like I missed one. Oh yeah, it's right there. Guess I should have gone that way first. Alright.
Welcome, Initiate. This is the Way Shrine of Sight. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Yes.
Then behold Ariel's gift, my child. May it speed your journey to the inner sanctum.
Let's get indoors. Or in a cave. Anywhere, just out of this.
I guess there is some fog rolling in here. Serana's always complaining about the weather. Alright, let's get back on track here. Oh, there we go. As I was saying earlier, there are some side quests that you can do here. Not even really quests per se, but like you saw me find the unknown book. That's one thing, and there's also like I said, I don't know if there's a quest for it. Or even if there's a hidden boss related to it. But actually, speaking of bosses, there's these guys. I want to mess with him. He's looking at him. We'll try it. Let me quick save first, because these guys are pretty tough. But, there are 5 of these guys, maybe?
Where'd you come from?
Within this area, the Forgotten Vale. And yeah, as you can see, he's pretty tough. Taking out Serana with one hit. But luckily, you can just do that. Every time it does this. Unfavorites my mace switch. Oh, that was wrong. I wanted a double power attack there, not just the left hand. But anyway. Each of these guys has one of these paragons, and by collecting all of them, I believe, you can gain access to some loot chests. And I think if you get all of them, then you can get Ariel's shield, which is a unique shield. I don't know if I have actually gotten it before. I may have, because my first character that I made in this game was a sword and board warrior, as they say. There's a shield and sword fighter. But I don't actually remember if I got that shield. I also don't remember what it does. I think it does sun damage when bashing or something like that. Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, I guess I'm right here. I'll get this way shrine. Then I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. And you'll see why.
You've arrived at the Way Shrine of Resolution. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Yes.
Then go forth, child. May the enrichment of Ariel strengthen your resolve as you undertake your journey to the inner sanctum.
Said, I'd take a quick detour back to the frozen lake, because there's some loot to be had over there. And in fact, that stone monolith you can see just there is a word wall. But not as easy as just walking up to it. As you can see, we've got some opposition here. And this is actually one of my favorite parts of this DLC. This is such a cool fight. This double dragon battle in the frozen lake. Awesome. It's awesome. March for death. Damage boost I'm looking for. Oh, he's dead already. And someone was asking me last time what Mark for Death actually does. And it does that. Makes you hit with an iron arrow for a third of a dragon's health. Because basically what Marked for Death does, I feel like I've heard someone say before that it reduces armor over time, but that is not true, in fact. At least it's inaccurate to say that it reduces armor over time, because the reason, and I mentioned this before in the last stream, there's a perk for maces that makes you ignore increasing amounts of armor when you hit enemies. But the reason that that perk isn't worth it is that most enemies in this game don't wear much armor. And in fact, enemies like dragons and trolls and things like that, they have an armor rating of 0 because they don't physically wear a helmet or gauntlets and stuff like that. And so what Marked for Death actually does is basically decrease the target's damage resistance over time. I can never remember which way I'm supposed to go here. I think it's this way. And this game has, as much as I love this game, love it to death, it's got one of the least helpful maps of any game I've ever played. But anyway, I digress again. So what Marked for Death does is reduce the enemy's damage resistance over time. So basically, the longer they are under the effect of Marked for Death, the more damage you do to them, as you could clearly see in that last fight, where a single arrow did
that'll teach you.
About 33% of that dragon's health. And it is one of my favorite shouts in the game, along with Fire Breath,
I knew I heard something.
as you might imagine. And Fire Breath is good because it can stagger enemies, does burning damage over time. Ow. That was an arrow. Wow, those arrows are really making a racket against the stone. Someone's still shooting at me. Alright, just gonna quick save again. And, oh, is this the... Ow. Someone's shooting lightning bolts at me from up there. See if we can kill her with the bow. And I don't think it's gonna happen. That's a gloom marker. You get that guy though. Oh. I was hoping he'd fall off of the bridge there. Actually, in fact, I'll keep going this way for now. So I think it kind of circles around. But, this area in particular always confuses me, no matter how many times I go through it. I just can't seem to remember which way it is that I'm supposed to go. Another chest here. A little precarious. Okay. Yeah, so it circles, it comes up this way and then circles back around here. And I am not sure where Serana is. So followers in this game. Ooh, that's useful. Maybe I'll disenchant that. I don't want to put it on though, even though that's a really useful effect, because I'm wearing an Amulet of Talos, which reduces my shout cooldowns. And in
Where'd
fact,
you come from?
oh, there's something. Finally caught up.
Done and done.
Oh, hit him right in the forehead. Nice. Gold ore, I need that. And in fact, I am planning on using an exploit for this playthrough, which will allow me to wear 5 Amulets of Talos at once, and give me 100% shout cooldown reduction, meaning that there will be no cooldown between my shouts. And although it looks like I'm currently wearing 3 at once, I am actually not. I believe that that is a display bug with the UI, because I am definitely not getting the effect of 3 of the amulets. Oh, nice. So this is the glacial crevice. Get a little preemptive damage on this troll. In fact, might even be able to kill him before he reaches him. Especially if I keep getting sneak attacks. Only bad thing about these maces is the short range with the dual wielding attacks. And I've mentioned it before, but it's because I can't move while I'm doing that attack. Whereas with a regular attack I can move forward while I swing. So it's a little harder for enemies to just backpedal away from regular attacks. But when I do hit them with the dual wielding attacks, especially the dual wielding power attacks, boy oh boy, does that do a lot of damage. because it should benefit from what's it called? Power stance or something. Fighting stance. No, that's not it. Savage Strike, where standing power attacks do 25% bonus damage. Those dual wielding attacks should benefit from this. Not to mention, I have dual savagery, like I mentioned before, which makes them do an additional 50% damage. Don't need that stuff. And that's the other thing that'll happen with dual wielding attacks, is that if you hit them kind of at the edge of your range, you'll hit them with the first 1 or 2 swings, but then as they get kind of staggered back, the follow-up hits will miss. I'm gonna get my bow out again. Sneak attack on this spider. And obviously this character is by no means a sneaky archer character or anything like that. But seeing as he is meant to be sort of a dragon slaying character, I figured he should have some archery skills. Someone's still shooting arrows at me. But the perks that I've invested in the archery tree are pretty minimal. It's basically just overdraw. I don't really need anything else. But speaking of perks, is there anything I can get here? I don't think so. 'Cause, to be honest, I'm really not using many perks with this character. They are spread a little thinly. I'm just kind of dabbling in a couple things. Like I said, with archery, pretty much I'm only interested in overdraw. One-handed is my main investment. Light armor, I mainly just need agile defender. And arguably a lot of the armor perks aren't really worth it either. Mainly if you're using smithing. Like if you have 100 smithing, there's a lot of armor perks that you can pass up because you just don't need them. Because you can improve your stuff enough to hit the armor cap. And then not use or not invest perks into redundant bonuses. Because if you didn't know, you can only have a certain amount of armor in this game, or at least there's a maximum value on your armor rating. And that, if I remember right, is... what is it? 587? Or 567 or something like that? Which I am well below, because I'm using light armor. But, whoops. You can have, what the armor cap means is that you could have 2,000 armor rating, for example, but you will only get the benefit of having that 567 armor, which is, I believe it comes down to an 80% reduction of physical damage taken. So damage taken from weapons. And then magic resistance actually caps a little bit higher at 85% resistance to magic. Or at least general magic resistance. Because you can also stack the element specific resists on top of that and have 85% general magic resistance, and then and this is with enchantments on your armor, and then you would be able to choose one of the elemental resists, like the fire resist, frost resist, or lightning resist, and increase that particular resistance beyond the 85% cap. So it is possible to get over 90% resistance to one element, but your total, or your general magic resistance stat will cap at 85%. I guess I'm talking a lot of stats today. But hopefully it's useful information to you guys. Hope it isn't too dull. And I'll try to stay away from talking about that kind of thing too much. I've never been much of a min-maxer in any game. Like, stats and things have never like it's never been my thing.
Come from.
Maximize my potential. Or at least I just want to. I want to maximize my potential within my playstyle, I suppose. I could put it that way. Alright. Once again, there's that short range. Almost causing me to die there. This Quicksilver. I guess this is the place to come if you need Quicksilver. It's the Forgotten Vale. Seems like there's Quicksilver deposits all over the place. And actually the min-maxing discussion brings me to another thing, is that in games with multiplayer, I'm carrying too much again. I always make an effort to get rid of here, sort of avoid the meta. Like I was talking last time about how I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and how I've started to get back into that game a little bit of late. But I don't like to use, or I've got no interest in using the really meta decks. And if you don't know what I mean by meta, that is just referring to sort of the most popular. Let's do that. The most popular sort of way of playing a game, you could say. Like, let me think of an example. Let's say Black Ops 1. If you guys have played that, seemed like everyone and their mother was using the FAMAS in that game in multiplayer, which was because it was the best gun in the game. And that's what the meta refers to, is sort of the theory behind them. And the reason that emerges is because most players, or at least some players at least, want to take that. They want to absolutely maximize their potential. Like I was talking about before, they want to use the depending on what kind of game it is, they want to use the gun or the cards or whatever it might be. They want to use the thing that makes them most effective. And so when strategies or decks or weapon combinations and such, when those things are discovered, that when highly effective combinations are, or ways of playing are found, that shapes what we call the metagame, which, like I said, is basically the theory behind the game, or the strategy, I guess.
You found the Way Shrine of Radiance, Initiate. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
I am.
May the blessings of Ariel protect you as you climb the road to the inner sanctum and final enlightenment.
Alright, that was actually pretty painless, getting through that part. Like I said earlier, this area of this sort of Falmer village here can be pretty confusing to navigate, since it all kinda loops back on itself, and just provides kind of a counterintuitive path where you kind of have to go backwards to go forward.
It almost doesn't even look real, you know?
But anyway, I don't know, maybe all this talk of
But it's using the older signs of his power.
game theory and metagaming
has
and
to
stuff is boring as well, but I hope it's not. But it is interesting to me, and like I said, that's something that I've always kind of avoided. Is that if there's some, like I was saying earlier, if there's a gun or
This must be that
an
beautiful Skyrim
archetype
weather I've always
of
heard about.
cards that it seems like everyone is using, I tend to want to avoid that. Alright, entering the inner sanctum. Like, if any of you guys are Yu-Gi-Oh fans, if you've been keeping up with
These Falmer.
sort of the recent tournaments, you will know that
And I thought the Soul King was cool.
the Metal Foes archetype is really dominant at the moment. But I personally have no idea whatsoever what Metal Foes do. So I'm
Where'd you
not a super old school Yu-Gi-Oh player. Like you won't hear me say, Generation 1 was the best, like things like that. I did watch the show when I was a kid. Not so much of a kid as well. But I skipped over the GX arc completely. I never saw a single episode of that. But I did watch 5Ds, and in fact I'm rewatching it right now, as a matter of fact. There's one of those other paragons that I was talking about earlier. I believe there's some loot in here as well. But, and I mentioned this a little bit last time as well. Like 5Ds is kind of known as the, like, card games on motorcycles. Like, what the heck is that? Kind of thing. And I admit, it does certainly seem pretty silly. Gotta go back for the ewer to get into this room. And there's one on the other side, so I'm not trapped in here. Oops. Oh, carrying too much again. This... Oh, here's what I can do.
What now? If you think it'll help.
Here's what we can do. But, like I said, I won't go into great detail since I talked about it last time, but for a show that's primarily marketed towards younger kids, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is pretty dark in a lot of ways, especially, or at least really the whole show has some pretty dark themes, but it's just it's especially struck me as I've been rewatching 5Ds as it takes place in this oh, Serana's trapped. Let's let her out. Basically this dystopian future where societies split into basically the haves and the have-nots, and the oh, that was the skeleton dying. There's an entire sort of caste of people who are basically forced to work as like garbage disposal workers and things like that, where the people in the big city are basically living it up and reaping the benefits. And even in the original series, and really especially the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh, where the spirit of the puzzle, if you're familiar, and all this obviously wasn't in the localized version of the show. In fact, Yu-Gi-Oh has been heavily censored over the years, from everything to whoa. What is going on here? I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I was getting some pretty nasty frame drops there. It looks like it's all smoothed out now. But as I was saying, Yu-Gi-Oh has been heavily censored in the localized versions, for everything from monsters with revealing designs to the whole concept of the Shadow Realm. And I talked about this last time as well. The concept of the Shadow Realm is just a euphemism for death that was created for the localized version of the show.
Which, I'm sorry to say, means your
and there definitely are people who get straight up murdered.
Where'd you come from?
People who get, oops, that's not what I wanted, who get mind crushed by Millennium items or what have you. And in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero, what I was talking about earlier, which is sort of the original manga that was released, the Pharaoh, the spirit of the puzzle, literally burns a man to death. Which, admittedly, the guy was a robber who was holding up a restaurant at gunpoint. But still, that's not exactly what you would think of as something a kid would watch. Really, I guess it comes down to marketing mostly.
I'm not gonna die like this.
The corporate guys know that they can get kids to want to buy all these cards and stuff. But really, the source material has some pretty mature themes
Watch out! He's falling down
when you
the
think
ceiling.
about it. And in fact, I gotta say, I'm still definitely enjoying 5Ds as a good show. I really like the main character, Yusei. He's pretty similar to the Pharaoh from Season 1. But, I guess, talking about dark themes and stuff again, like the episode involved him running away from the police, basically breaking the law and things like that. Not that he's a criminal or anything, but that he's basically considered a second-class citizen by this society. But and I always liked the cards that came out during the 5D's arc. I love synchro monsters and the whole synchro summoning mechanic.
You alright? Come on, we can do this. I know we can. He's up there on the balcony. Come on. Enough, Werther. Give us the bow.
How dare you? I was the arch-curate of Ariel, girl. I had the ears of a god.
Until the betrayed corrupted you. Yes, we've heard this sad story.
Gelibor and his kind are easily manipulated fools. Look into my eyes, Serana. You tell me what I am.
You're a vampire? But Ariel should have protected you.
The moment I was infected by one of my own initiates, Ariel turned his back on me. I swore I'd have my revenge, no matter what the cost.
You want to take revenge on a god?
Ariel himself may have been beyond my reach, but his influence on our world wasn't. All I needed was the blood of a vampire and his own weapon, Ariel's bow.
The blood of a vampire. Ariel's bow. It was you? You created that prophecy?
A prophecy that lacked a single final ingredient. The blood of a pure vampire. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor.
You're waiting all this time for someone with my blood to come along. Well, too bad for
strong.
you. I intend on keeping it. Let's see if your blood has any power to it.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do. And I noticed
Where'd
that
you come
we're pretty high up. Later. Oh man, that is too good. That's right. Well, that takes care of him.
So the deed has been done. The
In
restoration of
spectacular
this way
fashion,
shrine
no
means
less.
that Werther must be dead, and the betrayed no longer have control over him.
The betrayed weren't to blame.
What? What are you talking about?
He was a vampire. He controlled them.
A vampire? I see. That would explain much. Deep inside, it brings me joy that the betrayed weren't to blame for what happened here.
Why?
Because that means there's still hope that they might one day shed their hatred and learn to believe in Oriel once again. It's been a long time since I felt that way, and it's been long overdue. My thanks to both of you.
You're welcome.
You risked everything to get Oriel's bow, and in turn, you've restored the Chantry. I can't think of a more deserving champion to carry it than you. If you wish to learn more about the bow, or obtain sun-hallowed arrows for it, I'd be more than happy to help. You've but to ask.
And there it is.
Please, take the bow. It's yours. If there's anything at all I can help you with, please ask.
What can you tell me about Ariel's bow?
The bow was said to be carried by Auriel himself into battle against the forces of Lorcan in ancient and mythic times. Its craftsmanship has no equal anywhere within Tamriel, and possibly beyond.
What can it do?
The bow draws its power from Aetherius itself, channeling it through the sun. Therefore, when an arrow is loosed from the bow, it produces a magical effect very similar to being burned by fire.
Sounds powerful.
That's actually only a fraction of its potential. With sun-hallowed arrows, you would be able to produce a much more spectacular effect, causing bursts of sunlight to envelop your foes. The sunbursts would certainly hurt anything, but is especially devastating to the undead.
Virthur said something about using blood.
Well, using an arrow with the bow that's been dipped in blood may cause it to function differently, corrupting its purpose. That's, of course, if you're foolish enough to try it.
How do I obtain sun-hallowed arrows?
I can actually assist you in that regard. If you were to bring me some good quality elven arrows, I could imbue them with the proper incantations and rituals.
Can you make me some?
Absolutely. I can only do 20 at a time, so if you want the rest of your arrows blessed, let me know.
And we'll just
Absolutely.
make a
I can
bunch of
certainly.
these.
I can only do 20 at a time. I'm afraid I'll need elven arrows if you want me to produce the sun-hallowed arrows. And it seems you're all out of them at the moment.
Alright.
Farewell,
So
friend. May the warmth of Auriel provide you strength.
Not sure what's going on with Serana here. But, oh, she's still in combat. Really? Alright, let me load the quick save. That's an auto save. I want to load this. Bugs. Always bugs. Yeah, but I already saved at that point. Let me consult Google briefly. See if there's a fix. Otherwise, I'll just have to fight him again. Sorry, Serana. Let's see. Nope, still didn't work. Alright, let's do this.
What now? Oh, yes? Yes?
Okay. That'll do it. Where's she going? Alright.
So the
Okay.
deed has been done. The restoration of
Easy
this
enough.
way shrine means that Virthur must be dead, and the betrayed no longer have control over him. What? What are you talking? A vamp
Just skip
deep
through
inside
this.
brings... Because that means there's still... It's been a long time since I felt that way. You risked I can't think of a... If you wish to learn more about the bow, or obtain sun-hallowed arrows for it, I'd be more than happy to help. You've but to ask. Please, take the bow. It's yours.
Alright.
The bow with its craftsmanship has
And
no equal
again.
anywhere. The bow draws its power from Aetherius. Therefore, that's
Get these
with sun-hallowed arrows,
arrows.
you would be able to produce a much. The sunbursts would certainly hurt it. Well, you. That's of course if you're foolish enough to try it. I can act. If you were to bring me some good. Absolutely. I can. Absolutely. I can only. Certainly. I can only do 20 at a time. I'm afraid I'll need elven arrows if you want me to produce the sun-hallowed arrows.
Let's
Then
talk
it
to
seems
Serana.
you're
It's
all out of them. at the
Not
moment.
as shiny as I was expecting. Still, it's beautiful.
What do we do now?
I think we both know. It's time to face my father. If we don't, he'll keep chasing us for the rest of our lives.
If we do, he'll have to die.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. It's not easy, but I don't think we have much of a choice. No, this has to end here and now.
Let's face him, together.
If we head back to the castle and kick the front door in, we're gonna be knee-deep in his friends. Let's head back to Eastron and let him see what we've got first. I'm betting he'll lend us a sword or two.
Right. Quick save again, but before I do that, I want to get the loot from Virthur. So, going to use Become Ethereal, and I'm actually not sure if this will work with just the first word of the shout. Because it is a long way to... Okay. And there he is. Oh man. So he fell from up there. Right? Yeah. He fell all the way from up there. Oh, it's so amazing. I love that. And I am gonna put on this Ancient Falmer armor. Which I do really like. Although I guess it doesn't look too bad. It's just sometimes I don't really like the way the cuirass looks, the breastplate. From certain angles, it can make your character look kind of paunchy.
So bright out here. I don't know how you stand it.
But that done, we are finished with the Forgotten Vale. So let's head back to Fort Dawnguard. Here we see the Dragonborn Greatsword, which looks pretty nice. I like that it's symmetrical. I wish that the one-handed version was symmetrical as well. So that's just my personal preference for swords. I like straight, double-edged swords. Although those aren't the only... That's not the only variety that I like.
You have Ariel's bow.
We need your help,
I've heard
Israel.
it described
Oops,
in tales.
we're still talking.
But I could never have imagined its beauty.
We need your help.
Indeed. The day hasn't been won while Harkon still walks Tamriel. But what of Serana? Can she be trusted to lift a blade against her own kind? Her own family?
I trust her to do the right thing.
I suppose that's as much as I can hope for. Let me address the Dawn Guard and then we'll be off. The men deserve to know that we finally gained the upper hand.
Everyone, gather round.
What you doing?
Come
this
on
time?
then. We haven't got all day.
Hi, Serana. Stand over here. I was gonna say, are we waiting on someone?
For too long, we've allowed these vampires to poison the night and kill our people. Now, we finally have the means to strike back. We now have Ariel's bow. The gods themselves have favored us, and we must answer with action.
Actually, now that he mentions it, I need to favorite that.
The time has come to finally put an end to Harkon and his unholy prophecy.
Although you don't need the bow
on their lair and
to defeat Harkon, it makes
so they
things
can
a
no
lot
longer
easier.
corrupt our world.
At
This
least
is
I'm
our fight,
pretty sure you don't need
and
it.
this is our fate. This is the time of the Dawn Guard. Kill the abominations.
Victory to the Dawn Guard!
That's for me. Send the troll after them.
No more.
See the Dawn Guard
getting
have to
along
work
with
on
Eastern.
their
Done. Prepared.
I'm getting used to
Good day, friend.
sensitivity a little bit.
I can't afford to make it.
Serana's standing right there, and they're talking about abominations. That's just the sparkly kind of vampires, right? The rest are alright.
I like what Eastron has done with the place. It's good to see someone else who's really prepared.
Doing just a bit of smithing here.
Cozy little place, isn't this?
That's what I need. Just need one more ingot. But this kind of thing I'll do off stream. Just getting smithing maxed out
For your
and everything
help,
like that.
I'm sending word to the Orc strongholds that you're to be trusted.
It's time we take the fight to their door. Gather your things and rest well, my friend. We meet outside Castle Volkihar.
Alright.
Keep your eyes open.
While I'm here, I don't think I have much to sell, actually. So I haven't been picking up weapons or armor. Maybe I'll stop in Whiterun before we do this. In fact, I think I will, because I've got dragon bones and stuff to drop off to that Serana is carrying. Courier's got
I've been looking for
me.
you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who
Yep.
from. He wouldn't
Another
say, just that
letter
he was
from
a
a
friend of
friend.
yours. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
And apparently these letters are meant to be from Arnbjorn, the Greybeard. Does it put it at the it's new. Nope. So put it at the top. Of course not. Oh, it alphabetizes them by the name of the place. That's interesting. And where does it want me to go? Dragontooth Crater. I don't know if I know that place.
Good afternoon.
By name?
Nope. Sorry.
Alright, so I'm just gonna stop in at... what? At Bellathor's place. And he decides to open. Apparently he opens his doors at
Take a good look
4
around.
o'clock in the
I'm sure you'll
afternoon.
find what you're looking for. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
And the reason I want to come to Bellathor is because I can sell him jewelry. And I cannot... like, he'll buy pretty much anything. So I can sell him things that the blacksmiths won't buy, like stuff like this, mage robes and jewelry. He won't have any.
Do come back.
Let's see, what else can I do? Could get some more training in smithing. Though, no, I don't want to do that. Because I'm almost leveled up. Because what the training does is increase your skill to the next
I work with
level.
my mother. Sell fruits and vegetables.
It doesn't it doesn't just increase it by 1, it increases
What are you
it to
looking
the
at?
next
I'm not
level.
afraid of you.
So, for example, if I were to get the training here, I would only get that last 25% of the bar. Whereas if I were to get training in heavy armor, I would get this entire bar. So it's better for me to wait until I level up to 65 and then get the training, since I'm getting my
Even if you are my
money's worth that way.
I hope the Empire is sending reinforcements.
So, I'm gonna stop
Old
in
friend, patron of the great clan Battleborn.
Breeze home.
A name
Yeah,
I'm
you can
sure
you can get out of my
know
house.
well.
I've noticed that I feel like that didn't used to happen in the original release of this game, but when you
Yes. Anything good?
when you go through a door, like an area transition, when someone is standing next to you, it will bring them with you. Yeah, I have... oh yeah, plenty of this stuff. In fact, I can probably just stop collecting it, to be honest. I'm pretty sure what I have
Blade?
should be plenty.
You should talk to Adrian at the forge.
Alright. To the castle.
Nope.
And I suppose I should mention it, if you... and you can find all this information if you scroll down on my channel to where it says About Me. But speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! And other games in general. There are a couple more things that I am planning on streaming besides this game, because I do play a variety of games, and I want to share those games with you guys. And so, just briefly, because as I said, all this stuff is down there in the About Me section, just below the video. But just to mention some other games that I am planning on streaming. Odin Sphere, Life Thrasir, for sure, which is the remake of the PlayStation 2 game, the remastered version. I suppose I could stream some Uncharted, so I do own the Uncharted collection. But I think I also might stream some Yu-Gi-Oh! Online via the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro web service. And also the Shadowverse card game I've picked up recently, and I have been enjoying that a lot. So, oh yeah, and also when it comes out, I don't know if I'll get it right away, but I am definitely planning on purchasing Mass Effect Andromeda, and I will be streaming that as well once I get it. So, you can look forward to all of that.
What now?
Are you ready to do this?
I don't think you can ever be ready to kill your parent. I'm doing my best to not think of him as my father anymore.
Let me know if you need anything.
We've got enough to worry about right now. You stay focused, and I'll worry about me.
Fair enough. Let's do it. I don't know if I need to talk to them or anything.
We're done with this when none of them are left standing. Let's go.
Alright. I should have my fire breath equipped. Punching you in the back of the head.
Destroy every last one of them!
Seems like they left the gate open.
Leave no vampire in one piece.
What was that?
I guess it's taking them out. These guys are doing a lot of damage. Oops, the light armor is not ideal for a dual-wielding character. But,
Where'd you come on?
just gotta be a little more conservative. Who's still alive?
Not even the gods will show you mercy. I'm not backing
one of the armored trolls. We want to... It's a classic NPC.
That'll teach you.
Oh. All right.
For
Looks
the
like this is
Dawnguard.
it.
For Skyrim.
The final confrontation of Harkon.
Serana, my darling. I see you still favor keeping a pet.
You know why we're here.
Of course I do. You disappoint me, Serana. You've taken everything I provided for you and thrown it all away for this pathetic being.
Provided for me? Are you insane? You've destroyed our family. You've killed other vampires, all over some prophecy that we barely understand. No more. I'm done with you. You will not touch him.
So, I see this dragon has fangs. Your voice drips with the venom of your mother's influence. How alike you've become.
No. Because unlike her, I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
And you. It appears I have you to thank for turning my daughter against me. I knew it was only a matter of time before she'd return with hatred in her heart.
Hatred born of your neglect.
A small price to pay for the betterment of our kind.
Your kind is a blight on this world.
Yes, yes. Always the noble vampire hunter. And what happens when you've slain me? Is Valerica next? Is Serana?
I would never hurt Serana.
Then my daughter is truly lost. She died the moment she accepted a mortal into her life.
Enough of this.
Yes, quite. I'm growing weary of speaking to you and my traitorous daughter. I'll give you a single chance to turn over the bow to me. There will not be a second.
Never.
Very well, then. You leave me no choice. Ariel's soul will be mine.
Actually, I'm gonna equip the sun-hallowed arrows.
You can't hide from us.
And you actually can give him the bow, but it doesn't change anything.
Sorry it had to be this way. That'll teach you.
Serana actually finished him there. I experienced a glitch here once where I killed him while
Now
he was
that's done.
regenerating. What will you do now?
I'm not sure. I'll probably stay with the Dawnguard for as long as they'll let me. They're respectable fighters, and I think they see the benefits of having a vampire on their side now. Of course, if you've got any more adventures planned.
I'd love to have you along.
That's what I wanted to hear.
So, the beast is destroyed. Not only that, but Ariel's bow is in safe hands. The Dawn Guard will now be dedicated to safeguarding it, making sure that prophecy will never come to pass. You served Skyrim well. Even with these vampires gone, the fight isn't completely over. Once we're settled back in at the fort, there will be more work to do. We'd be honored to have you join us.
Alright.
It's
yeah,
over.
I was saying
He's dead.
I experienced a glitch fighting him once, where when he kind of hovers above
I
here...
suppose this is difficult for you.
I think my father really died a long time
he
ago.
regenerates health.
This was just...
I think until you...
I did what needed
like to a certain point, or until you shoot him with a sun-hallowed arrow.
I think perhaps.
But I think I somehow killed him as he was
that.
starting to regenerate. And so his health bar was still on the screen, but he was this. But, so I'll take that. Can give it to Serana. And, take his sword as well. And I'm pretty sure his Vampire Royal Armor. This is what Serana is already wearing. It just looks a little different because she's female.
This better not be all the things you just can't be bothered with.
So I'm gonna give her this sword. I don't know if she's gonna use it. And I'll give her that. And unfortunately, this is empty, yeah. So, don't let that chest get your hopes up. Alright. And so that is the end of the Dawn Guard DLC. And I think on that note, I am going to end this stream for tonight. So I will hard save, even though I just quick saved. Because, I do need to get up pretty early to go to work tomorrow. So, thank you very much, everyone who came out and watched. I will be back next weekend with more Skyrim, Friday evening and Saturday evening. I'm planning on streaming on those days every week when I can. So, until then, my name is Eric, this has been the Uncanny Stream, and I will see you soon.